Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Eye Opener Society. And again, we really appreciate you guys, the audience. We love doing these shows for you. This is kind of a passion for Hannah and I, and we just love it doing this. Please follow us on our Facebook page too, because these episodes are now being recorded on video. Nothing fancy, nothing fancy at all. But like a month after the episode is released, then we'll put them up on Facebook on our group page, Eye Opener Society. So just in case you watch one video and then the next video you see us wearing the exact same thing, it's because
Mind your business.
mind you, misses. And seriously, we sit and record numerous episodes, usually two at a time, back to
It's
back.
what works
So
for us.
yeah.
I got a kiddo, and that's what works.
Yeah,
So
and we don't dress up for this. I mean, sometimes I might put on something cool, but for regular shows, it's just everybody wants to see video for some reason. I don't know why. We always said that podcasting is audio only, but times are changing, so we're doing a little something. Okay, so join us on Facebook, Eye Opener
maybe
Society on
it's because
Facebook.
our voices are so sexy that they just want to see what we look like.
I mean, I like to think that.
I'm sorry for the disappointment.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just listen to our voices, you'll be so much more impressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Hannah, you took the last episode, and you're going to take this episode too as well.
Yes.
So, why don't you tell us what you got?
So I wanted to, in honor of October and, spooky season, fall just started. I think it was September 22nd. Um, First day of fall, we're getting the cold months. I'm in sweats, Gary's in sweats, and I really wanted to take the time and pop out an episode about, seasonal depression and how to remain on top of it, and tips and tricks on, how to get through it because I think so many people suffer from seasonal depression. And then, there's people like my mom and I who, have it all year round, and then the seasonal comes around and it's like, just don't even bother looking at us because we're probably going to have a mental breakdown because it puts it on extreme. So yeah, that's the topic that I'm bringing today.
Yeah, and that's good because yes, your mom and yourself, I know both of you with the extreme anxiety, depression, and all. And then me, I do. I
You get
get stuff.
seasonal
I
to
get.
bad.
Yeah, I do. I get seasonal depression, and the good thing is, it's actually improved over the last couple of years.
It's
But
because he lives with
once
me.
that's probably what it is.
It
And but that is a good valid point. If you're surrounding yourself with people that make you happy, it's going to change things. So that's before I even get into the show, that's one tip that I can give.
hmm
Surround yourself with those positive people. Surround yourself with the people that make you feel good. Hannah does. She makes me feel good. I love being around her. I always enjoy her company. I enjoy doing these podcasts just because she's sitting next to me. The nights out by the fire and all. Listen, it does. It elevates me. It elevates my mental awareness and it makes me much more positive, and I
Oh
don't have to worry
yeah.
about anything. So,
Aw.
yeah, so that's one tip right there. Definitely right off the bat. Surround yourself with the people that make you feel good. Um, but yeah, we are coming up into that. And I know me, I could get through it for a while, but once it really does get into that, really deep dark,
January.
yeah,
Ugh.
January, yeah, when the day lasts maybe what, like 4 hours and it's like constant darkness. Yeah, it does. And there's less time for me outside, so I'm stuck indoors and I don't like that. I try to get out even still. But yeah, that's where I think my seasonal depression really kicks in. And I try every year to improve myself. Always a work in progress. It's nothing that's done easily, but there's ways to elevate it. And so besides surrounding yourself with people that, bring you up, what helps?
To continue on with, how you said, how nature, it gets dark and, we only get a couple hours of the day, or maybe that cold is so brutal that you physically just can't do it. But, over the years, what has helped me as far as, those dark days or those cold, super brutal days is sometimes I just crack my window open and I look outside and, if it's snow falling or if there's rain or if there's just even a slight breeze where you can see, the remainder of the leaves falling off or the leaves changing, I just always try to look for the beauty in the current state that nature is in. And it kind of gives me a little bit of, positive energy back because although I'm not outside physically partaking in the energy that, beautiful earth gives us, I'm still witnessing it and allowing that, energy to come through to me. Because
Yeah.
nature's
Mhm.
beautiful. It's
It
so
is. I
beautiful.
don't care what season it is, it's always beautiful. You will find beauty in every moment if you're concentrating on it, if
Hmm.
you're looking for it. Yeah, you can't hide away. You sometimes have to brave that cold. And listen, there's people out there that are the complete opposite, where they love the cold, they love winter, and they disenjoy the summertime. So everybody's different. Everybody's probably going to get their seasonal depression at different seasons. It's not always wintertime. So whatever season it is that gets you depressed, but this is normally the season where we do fall into that trap of depression. We have the holidays that come up. A lot of people feel like they can't give, especially now with money worries and anxieties about that. The holidays are not about money.
Mm-mm.
Let's put an end to that. Let's put an end to making the holidays about money. It's about family, it's about gathering, it's about friendships. It's really a celebration. If you're
Hmm.
looking at me, I'm not celebrating Christmas. I celebrate Yule, but either or, it's a season of celebration where we're waiting for the light to come back. And we do that by surrounding ourselves with people that mean the most to us. This whole point of giving for the holidays is great, but giving doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and make absolute physical purchases to give to somebody.
Hmm.
We don't need to spend our money like that. Something handmade is great. Just your presence,
Yeah.
stories,
A poem, something like that.
anything. I don't think people understands. Like, I never sell it, and you guys, I always say, don't get me anything for Christmas. Don't wake me up on Christmas morning. It's shut out to me. I don't enjoy it, and I don't believe in all these gift giving and all that. But when somebody gets me something that's more heartfelt, something that was made, handmade, whatever it may be, or just something to say, hey, let's hang out together and do so. Now that's where you're gonna actually elevate my spirits.
Yeah, for sure. You know, I agree with that.
Yeah, it means more to stay away from the actual merchant side of the holidays
Yeah.
because obviously we're so overrun by that.
And I
Everybody
think
wants that.
it does put a pressure push, like a push of pressure on people going into like this seasonal depression type season because then you're feeling it, your serotonin is lowering and then on top of it you kind of start to freak out because you're like, oh my God, it's already going to be Halloween, next comes Thanksgiving, and then I got to think about Christmas, and it's just like we got to stop doing that because you're worsening that depression, not even realizing you're taking a stressor and allowing it to expand the seasonal depression that you're already experiencing because you're worrying about materialistic things. You got to stop doing that. You got to go back to roots and give people energy, give people something personal. It doesn't have to be merchandise.
Mhm. Yeah, and another piece of advice to take everything slowly, take it day by day. Um, when when the holidays actually get there, find the positives in whatever it may be. Like me, I'm gonna find the positives in the fact that I'm not gonna be at work. I'm gonna have a couple days off. You know,
Oh, yeah.
these are reasons to celebrate. Like, you don't have to take all these holidays and seasons so personal or so direct.
Hmm.
Me during Christmas, first thing I start thinking about is July 4th. That's my way of, tricking my mind out of, what I don't want to be in. I start thinking about July 4th and I'm start thinking about summertime and I start thinking about getting prepared for that. And I start looking at the calendar and I start counting the days. Oh, we only got so many days before summer starts. That's how I do it. That's my way of coping. So
Yeah.
whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something weird sometimes. That's my weirdness. That's
That's
how I deal
fine.
with it. But if it works, it works. Do what works for you.
Yeah. So I also, as far as, going into this season, one thing that I've done over the past couple years to kind of help offset seasonal depression for me is um, trying to take up like maybe like a new hobby. or even trying out like a different music genre. I have found that that has done wonders for me because it kind of opens up my mind to, you know, more creativity and just it just makes me feel good that I'm
Mm.
doing something new.
Yeah, it changes the frequency.
Yeah.
It changes the frequency, and you're getting away from things you normally listen
Yeah.
to that become so normalized after
You're
a while.
yeah, and you're allowing something kind of your how I look at it is in a sense too is that, I'm not only increasing like my knowledge and, my tastes and things like that, but I'm also unintentionally, it becomes a distraction from the depressive feelings or anxious feelings that I'm feeling because I'm just so fixated or focused on, oh, I can't wait to try out this band, or I can't wait to try to crochet this. I think it was 2 years ago, I tried crocheting.
Hmm.
I made two little scarves and I put them both on my cat, but it's fine. Just small things like that. And even, it doesn't even have to be trying out a new hobby or a new genre. It could be, you know what? I fucking love Law and Order SVU, and I know binge watching that all fall and winter long is gonna help me get through it. Watch the damn show, or you know what? Try a new show. Oh my God. See, I've been seeing people have been watching Chicago Fire or something. I just pulled a show out of my ass, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. Watch that. Something that'll help get you by.
It's so funny you bring that up because I don't, I dislike TV. TV
Yeah,
completely, at least in the, on
unless it's
seasons.
cops.
Yeah, unless it's cops. But I'm outdoors and I don't like being in front of the TV. However, once I know I'm going to be stuck indoors and I cannot really get outside as much as I want, all summer long, all spring long, I am finding TV shows that I'm going to find interesting. And I put them all on my watch list. And then once I'm stuck inside, I'm turning them on,
Hell
watch them.
yeah.
And it does, it brings you into some, oh, this is something new. This is pretty good. Or even if it's not good, I still have a whole watch list to go through.
Yeah.
And then once I'm done watching all of it, that's it. The winter is done and it's time for spring again. So yeah, it's a good way to
Yeah.
change your focus on stuff.
And I did bring up we had done a spring cleaning episode back in spring. Um, but I wanted to kind of retract a little bit because I feel like I am guilty of, I take spring as spring cleaning, physically cleaning, mentally cleaning. We talked about spring cleaning of the mind.
Mhm.
But we also, brought up materialistic shit, cleaning out your house, doing that for, your greater good. But you could also take that time during this time of the year and go through things you're like, because this is my plan. I'm gonna go through my closet during my when these seasonal depression really starts to hit. Because luckily, right now we're still getting some good days where we can sit,
Mhm.
But I want to go through my closet and I want to go through my attic and I want to, I want to do those things because you know what? I look at it is that it's about to be an end of a year. And if I'm looking at a piece of clothing that I have not worn since January or before that, then now's the time to get rid of those things. I'm going to end the year and I'm going to end my relationship with that piece of whatever it may be, that item. And I think that's so important because during this time, you're allowing yourself to let go of things that you were holding on to for no reason. And in the long run, once we get past these depression months, you're going to feel so good because you're going to look back and reflect and be like, wow, like I took my time and I got rid of that and I see clarity and I feel cleaner and I don't feel as crowded. I can't tell you how overwhelmed I constantly feel around all of the mess that's around me. And my house could be spotless, but I am still in my brain like, oh my God, my sixth drawer in my dresser is a wreck, and I have 7 shirts in there that I haven't worn. That's the kind of stuff that goes through my head. So I'm going to make a mental note of that. And on a day where I feel so consumed by this, is the day that I'm going to take the time and make myself feel better.
Yeah, listen to everybody in the audience. what Hannah describes, what goes on in her head, it may be you. I know that there are people out there with the same types of anxiety, and sometimes it is crippling. And I know Hannah here has definitely got the crippling anxiety. And me, I have more of an upbeat approach, and my seasonal depression comes now much later. We're all going to do things differently, but again, these little tips that Hannah's given, that I'm given, try them out. It's not going to hurt to try. And we're not giving, something extreme. It's
Hmm.
just take that moment, to do something different, to
Yeah.
distract you from the worst thing I think you could do is get in that bed and say, I'm not getting out of it until spring. And that's going to really, really,
And I used to be like that.
yeah. And
And
I know I'm like that too. And that's when the depression really sets, because now you're feeling completely trapped.
yeah. And like as a mom, I can't sit there and do that, you know? So this year, and I've already started with it, it's simply going to the craft store and picking up a $5 craft kit and sitting at the dining room table with my kid for an hour with spooky music on because it's Halloween and, painting something with him. You know how on a cloud nine I was just I will forever remember that moment. And it's something that I plan to continue to do. I'll grab a Thanksgiving one, I'll grab a Christmas one, and I'll just grab whatever little kit that I can find, even if it starts to be a weekly thing for me, just so because those moments are going to help me get by. Those moments, I'm not thinking about anything but enjoying that moment with my child.
That's perfect. And if you guys out there have children, same thing. Do
Yeah.
stuff, get
And
involved,
yeah, and you,
keep
you don't
yourself
even,
busy.
yeah, you don't even have to have like something like that. If you're an adult, you don't have kids, go take a cooking class,
Yeah.
go to a wine tasting.
Mm.
Shit, go to whatever thing that is just so outside of your realm that you don't do. Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? You wasted $10 because, oh, that really wasn't my thing. Okay. You know?
Take some time off from work and
Yeah.
go to a state where the weather's different.
Yeah.
That's something else. I would love to do that too. So don't let it consume you.
Yeah.
You know, listen to our show. And
There's
this is going
always
to,
ways out.
yeah. And this is going to be a real shameless plug here. But listen, I don't know if it's out yet. I don't know when this year episode is going to be recorded, but Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern,
Hmm.
beginning October 13th. If it's already passed, well, then you already know about it. Go to eyeopenersociety.podbean.com. Top of the page, got the link to Relaxing Radio. That's my show. And it's going to start October 13th. And it's going to be every Sunday night. And I will help with these here issues where we're just going to sit around, we're going to talk. And you know what? Since it's going to be every week, the deeper it goes into the depression season, join me and we can all get through it together. It's just relaxing.
Hmm.
There's no stress with it. I'll give you all sorts of meditation tips, tricks, techniques, things to do, tell stories, anything that would get our minds off of it. So, something else you could do. Think about it. eyeopenersociety.podbean.com, top of the page. Look for the link for Relaxing Radio, my show. So,
Oh, yeah.
cheap plug. And speaking of plugs, and I know things have been a little bit devastating with this storm. I'm not taking this moment to do a cheap shot against the government with the weather engineering and all of that, because there's been a lot of lives lost on this, property damage. I just wanted to give this moment for everybody, that have been affected by this storm. And we've been on a show, and she's been on a show, Urban Lady Prepper. There's reasons for prepping, and this isn't just a cheap plug for that, but if you go to Urban Lady Prepper or even urbanladyprepper.com, where she does her blogs, I think now people can realize why people prep, and you see how quickly things can escalate out of
Hmm.
nowhere. So listen to a show, because there's some really great advice. And if you're affected by these storms, maybe you could listen, to it if you have the power to do so. And maybe there's things you could do now, to get prepared for the next time or for whatever situation you might be in. I'm hoping everybody is well. I'm hoping everybody finds some sort of, positive in this. And I know it's been very devastating. So I just wanted to mention that. So everybody, hearts out to everybody out there. We're all under the
For
same
sure.
roof, and this roof, covers the entire globe. So, yeah, my heart's out to everybody. Also, I wanted to really quick also mention because I forgot to mention it probably a couple of episodes ago. I should have mentioned it. Podluminati podcast. Look that one up. I believe Spotify. My man Josh from the Josh and Paulie show. The Josh and Paulie show is taking a break, and Josh is out there doing his own thing. And I was his first guest on there, which I was so honored to be. He's got a great little format where he interviews other podcasters. Quick show, about 30 minutes. He covers like 10 questions and gets into short conversations. It was really great. I enjoyed being on it. So Pod
I'm gonna have to be on it
Luminati.
without Gary now.
Well, yeah, good. Just reach out to him. I'm sure he would have you on there, man. He's always looking for guests. So, yeah, just a quick shout out to those two, Urban Lady Prepper and also Pod Luminati podcast. Look that up on
Mhm.
Spotify. In the meantime, the winner's going to get here. Hannah and I, we're always here for you. Tune in to us. Our email is always open, the eyeopenersociety at gmail.com. Go to eyeopenersociety.podbean.com for, just our regular shows. But we're on all platforms. Look for us. And look forward to seeing you on my live radio show every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget, coming up in Halloween, we're going to have Ann Lund, who's going to do her Haunted and Waiting.
I'm so
And I'm so
excited.
excited about that. But listen, this is Hannah and I were this is our second of two shows. We have two more shows coming up. And listen, this is the exciting thing, and I was waiting to make this announcement. The next two shows for the end of the month, it's going to be a two-part series. We're going to have the authors Leslie and Stephen Shaw, and they wrote the book Who They Are and What Are They Up To, and it's a UFO book, and it's brings so many new theories. And it's been a real exciting page turner for me. I'm reading it at work actually, but it's been so great, and I'm so immersed in it. And I've got, for those of you that are watching on video, I've got like all of these sticky notes of just things that I found so interesting that I want to research on my own. And we're going to talk to the authors. They're really nice. And those are going to be the last two shows. So it's a two-part series, which we haven't really done, but I know I'm not going to squeeze a UFO topic in just a half hour. It's not going to
Oh
happen. So,
no.
so we're going to interview them. And so look out for that show. But in the meantime, Hannah and I, we thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you here. Stay tuned for our next episodes, and we'll see you real soon.
See ya.